everybody, Mrs. Heisey here. Today I am going to show you guys how to design a dog tag in Inventor for the 3D printers. So first of all, you want to get started and double click on Inventor right down here. You just have to look for the eye icon on your computer screen, wherever it might be. Then we're going to make it real easy. We're going to start with a new part. All you have to do is double click on part. It takes just a couple seconds to get this loaded. There's a lot of different options on here. So we're just going to start with new right from the get-go. Now looking at all these different icons on here, we're just going to use a couple of them, nothing too big. We're going to start out with a 2D sketch. So you want to click on here, 2D sketch, and it's going to bring up our plane. This is telling us where our Z and Y plane is and all that kind of stuff. Easiest thing you want to do, start with the XY plane. This is going to start with a 2D image. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to start making a rectangle. So click on the rectangle, bring your cursor over to the middle and see where it's green. You're just going to left click one time and drag the box up and over. You're not holding down the mouse. You only clicked on it. Now I'm going to click a second time and it creates a rectangle. With that rectangle, I want to make it the size that we're going to make our dog tag. So right up here, dimensions. Dimensions are our measurements. Click on there, and then you're going to go ahead and click the top line. Again, we're just clicking. We're not holding down the button. So click once, move your cursor up, and click a second time. It's going to ask you to edit the dimensions. Right here, you just have to type in 2. Just like that, hit enter. Now it looks like my rectangle went away, but it just got bigger than what the screen is. So if you're using your mouse, you're just going to take the little rolly ball and you're going to roll upwards. Now if you want to move this to the center so you can see a little bit better, again, have your mouse hovering over top of your rectangle, hold that little rolly ball down, and then you can move it anywhere on the screen that you want. So I could take this and I could move it all over, but I just want it right there. Now I need to get my side over here to be the measurement that I want. So again, I'm going to hit dimension, click on that, bring it out to the side, and I want this just to be 1 inch. So I'm going to type in 1, hit enter. So this is going to be the size of my dog tag, 2 inches by 1 inch. Now I need to make a little hole here so I can put a chain through it or whatever I might need to do. So that is a circle. Click on the circle icon. Then you're going to, again, just click. Don't hold down the mouse button. Then you're going to bring your cursor over and notice how there's like that little dotted line as I kind of go back and forth. I want to make sure I have that dotted line, and then I'm going to click my mouse once, make a circle. You can make it super big if you want. We're going to change the size of it. And then I'm going to click it twice. And again, to change the size, I click on dimension right up here, click on my circle, and I want this to be 0.25. So that's going to be 1/4 of an inch, 0.25. Looks kind of tiny there, but that's okay. It's going to work perfect for us. Now I need to move this over to the edge closer right here. So I'm going to click on dimension, find that little dot in the middle, that little white one. So I'm going to get that point to this point, bring up my dimension, and in here again I'm going to point 0.25. All right, hit enter, and there I have it. So once you're done making the rectangle and the circle, we're going to say finish our sketch. Now again, it's zoomed in really close, so use that rolly ball, zoom it up if you need to. Use that rolly ball, hold it down, and move it to the center of the page. Now I want to make this 3-dimensional, so it's called extrude. Click on my extrude button right here. And then I'm going to look at everything. It says like it's going to be 1 inch. I do not want it to be 1 inch. So I'm not clicking anything in here yet. I'm actually just going to click in the middle of my rectangle. And if I bring my cursor out, it says it's going to be 1 inch. I want to change this to 0.125 and then hit enter. So that's going to be less than 1/4 of an inch. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick, okay? So with this, I want to round my corners. Rounding the corners, super easy. Come up here to the top, click on fillet, bring my cursor to that little corner. I'm going to click on there, and I'm going to type in 0.25. I want them to be rounded like that. Again, click on this part right here. There's the little fillet icon. I don't have to go back up to the top again. And I can just hit enter, because if you notice, it's already to 0.25 what I just did. So we're just repeating it. Now to get to the other side over here, if you notice up in this area, I have a box. I can just kind of play around with that and hit, oh, look at it. It flips it around for me if I want to. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to click on my corner and hit enter. Click on my little corner here, fillet, hit enter. And there we go. So now I have it rounded corners. It's 3-dimensional. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to type my name in. All right. Again, come up to 2D sketch, click on the front part here, and it'll flatten it out for us. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to type in my name. So I'm just going to make a nice little text box right there. And it's going to ask you to type something in. Here's a couple pointers. Number one, make sure it's centered. So click right here. Number two, you want to bold your font. Alrighty. And you can change the size of your font if you want. I'm going to go with the biggest one. And now I'm just going to type in Mrs. Enter. I-Z. Alrighty. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And there it is on there. If you need to move it around, all right, then you would go ahead and you could just click on it and move it around. Mine's perfectly fine, centered right inside of there. So now that I have that, I can hit Finish Sketch again. And it turns three-dimensional for me. What I want to do now is I want to take my name and I want it to actually indent in. So it's real easy to do that. Look up here, hit Emboss. We want to check right here, this middle one, engrave from the face. So I want that to come down. See that right there? In my depth, I want that to be, all right, we're going to go 0.125, or 0.1, I'm sorry. We want 0.1. All right. Then I'm going to click on it. So I have 0.1, click on here. Whoops, why is that not going? There we go. All right, 0.1, hit Enter. Well, we're going to cancel that. Try it again. There we go. I'm going to select on here. Hit Emboss. I want it down like that. There we go. Again, make sure it's this one right here in the middle and then hit OK. And then there you can see, ta-da, there's my name. All right, if you wanted to move it around and take a look at other places and other features, different ways, you go right ahead. Now at this point, we want to save our work. And then the next video, I'll show you how to export it to the Cura software, which will help us put it into 3D. So right now I'm just going to go up to File, Save As, and you guys are going to find your school ID. Mine is just my name. Mine's just my name right here. You're going to have your student ID. So it'd be your two initials and then your number, and then you can name it whatever you want. I have lots of files, so I'm going to go into this 3D printer right here. I'm just going to double click on my folder for that. And then in here, I'm going to name it Dog Tag High Z. All right. And then I hit Save. So now it's saved. The next video, I'm going to show you guys how to go ahead and export it out of this program. So if you have any questions, make sure you ask. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.